Hey everyone, Lensman Oz here, and welcome to another game review. This time it's Space Pirates and Zombies 2. So, the game has been in early access since May last year, I think it is pretty much, according to the Steam page. But it's coming out of early access as of 7th of November, so hopefully if I've set this up correctly, this should be coming out at the right time. I was given a review copy by via the developers through our website, and yeah, I do believe I played the original one. I don't know how much I played of it, but I thought I'd give this a go. It's marked down as action adventure indie RPG simulation strategy, and technically early access as well. So developer and publisher is Min-Max Games. So I thought we'd give it a look at, and it does say in the documentation that I got that the tutorial is fairly in-depth, but is quite long as well. So they did provide save games to jump forward, but as I haven't done this before, I thought I'd go with going through the campaign and seeing what we got. If it does become too long, then I may cut. Still record it anyway, so if you guys do say you want to see it, hopefully I'll be able to produce it as a sort of an auxiliary video. But let's just have a look here. New campaign. Normal. It's fine. Start.
Element 126, resin. Res. It was the answer to everything. A transmutable element with the power to unlock the secrets of the universe. It gifted humanity everything there was to know about space-time and how to enslave it. Res triggered an explosion of technological advancement. Mankind spread to the far reaches of the galaxy, growing exponentially in numbers, along with the reliance on Res. The United Terran Alliance was founded to control the countless population. Eventually, they sought to ration the use of Res. As Res supplies thinned, conflict arose. An epidemic of fortune-seeking miners forced their way to the galactic core, where resin was most abundant. Eventually, the primary Res source was discovered. All Res stemmed from a sinister and timeless energy being, a being awakened by the use of Res. They had sprung an ancient and recursive trap, Res being the bait no budding civilization could possibly ignore. Corruption spilled outward into the stars, twisting the biological matrix of all it touched, integrating it into machines. Mankind's own technology, their own dead, had begun to turn against them. For years they struggled to survive against a flood of abominated metal and flesh. Billions were lost to the infection, only further feeding the expanding corruption. In spite of hopeless obliteration, the very fabric of life itself arose to fight the dark entity. As a race, humanity came together for a single purpose. In some twisted way, they had found peace. Peace, however, does not last. People fell back into their self-minded ways. Humanity turned inward in a scramble for the remaining Res, which now could no longer be renewed. As the UTA lost its control over the galaxy, they collapsed the entire Warpgate network beyond any hope of salvage. Human ingenuity, it turns out, knows no captivity. A resin-based drive was developed, allowing more direct travel anywhere in the galaxy. The Void was reborn as a wild, untapped, and lawless frontier. As years pass, piracy and skirmish battles rage. Precious Res the prize. Raw worlds are recklessly colonized and disputed by legions of makeshift starships. An entire ecology of nomadic drifters emerged, endlessly recycling the wrecks of constant war. All the while, the nearly forgotten saviors of the galaxy tirelessly struggle to exterminate the last remnants of the infection.
There's our backstory. Alright.
It seems like, yet again, you dimwits have flown my ship headlong into an infested region. That is the third time this week. 6 million forms of communication, and I'm yet to find one that can articulate how moronic you fools are. Computer, power up the weapons and shield emitters. The doctor is in.
Alright, so WAS and D, mouse button 1 to fire, left shift, sort of a run command, I guess, or boost, and X is backwards. Okay, cool. Okay, so I guess... Ooh. Ah. Just get nailed. Getting attacked from everywhere.
Super kill.
Okay. Going backwards trying to take this guy out. Oh, there's one. Am I hitting that guy? Probably not. Oh. Be nice if I could actually hit something. Oh, there's a rock there. Uh-oh. I'm gonna go down in this. Oh, I think I broke that one. Trying to get away.
Mega kill.
Apparently. Okay. They're getting shot by all sorts of stuff. I believe it's difficult to get this stuff. Yeah, I think I died. This is normal difficulty too. So obviously it's, you know, there's...
Game over.
Yeah, game over, well done. Would you like to try easy mode?
By the void. Level 13 is truly the bane of my existence.
Carl, seriously? Do you realize crew members suffocated on the lower decks because you routed power from life support to play stupid video games?
Silence, imbecile! They gave their lives for the greater good. A scientific mind must stay active, or it would wither and wrinkle. I'll boil any ocean. I'll irradiate a whole litter of Narlakian pups. I'll divide by 0 if I have to.
I told you he'd cause trouble if you leave him to his own whim. Those implants can really make a man sick in the melon. Elsa, he is a liability if we keep him on board.
Please refrain from sneaking up on another living creature like that. Do you not realize the horror people have to endure every time they look at your face? You are fortunate I did not inadvertently dismember you in a panic-induced frenzy.
Everyone, shut up! To the bridge, right now. Anyone not here in 30 seconds is getting vented into space.
Someone's cranky.
Well, I'm glad to see everyone was able to get up at the crack of noon to work towards sustaining our survival. Let me present to you all the garbage dump we'll be sifting through this afternoon. Yes, most of this is useless junk. Yes, this is utterly pathetic, but what choice do we have?
This ain't no way to treat this here metal mother. The lady deserves better. Let me be snapping on something fresh. He might not be the best candidate to operate the tractor prototype. Keep in mind that Carl built this thing, so it goes without saying that it's dangerous. I'd hate to have come all this way just to have Mackenzie rip us apart like a rabid chimp with Carl's untested toys. You know how those two can be.
I don't really care who does what, but we need to jump on this opportunity to expand the mothership. That cool module will give us some elbow room, while those wings will give us some much-needed firepower. Let's get those modules fitted so we don't have to listen to each other breathe anymore.
Please pay close attention to the moving picture feature film show. You will be subjected to standardized testing following this demonstration.
So, yep, this is the idea, is that you can actually pull apart your ship and add bits back on and make it bigger. It's all modular. You can see here. So take the ship apart, reassemble it to fit your needs. Use cores to increase the frame size of your mothership. Cores have stats that will boost your ship's speed, shields, health, and maneuverability. Attach wings, wing, nose, and engine parts to your frame. All come equipped with weapons, and it's left control, which is a little bit... Okay, cool. So let's give it a go. So we go hold left control. And then we want this one. Do I need to... Okay, and then move your mouse. And you can lock it back in. No, that didn't work. Okay, there we go, yep. Okay, so we just added
What exactly
another module.
do you think you're doing? Stop leaning on that overhead projection like a crutch. This isn't some archaic, top-down space shooter we're playing here. This is real, brutal, kitten-eating life we're talking about. Join the rest of us down here in reality.
You can see you got different modes here. Top down for building, third person for manual combat. Oh, okay, cool. So we can push C. So we're
Our omnilithium capacitor
right in
is
behind
now
it.
tapped out. I've devised a method to simply eject the spent cell while fabricating a new one out of surrounding space dust. Do not ask me how it works, or why it makes sense. All that you need to know is that you will be unable to fire the ship's weapons while the new cell is being installed.
There you go. Okay. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. Push R or reload. Yep, there you go. It takes a moment. Push R. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
I'm bringing the weapons online. If that is indeed what you want to call this garbage. Let's blast open some of these containers. Maybe we can find something to eat that won't make our hair fall out.
I have decided that it would be best if basic resource towing was left up to the ship's computer. These items are too fragile to be handled by Neanderthals. It brought me great pain to watch you struggle with the tractor beam.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so engines are now online. I guess we can spin around and go towards the target. Alright, cool. Let's go this way. Apparently I can boost, can I? And here's some of our... There's a little rocket off. Oh. Am I going backwards? How did we manage this? Going the wrong way. Come on. Well done. That's the rocket at the back. I'm not sure how. Bang. Just drive another rock. It'll be fine.
Engaging. Relay point designated.
Okay. Takes a little while for those rockets to send out. Okay, so we're a little bit closer. And then the ship will pull it in. Nice. Okay, cool. So you can pick up
Please
resources.
assimilate and perform the following diagnostic tests on the kinetic shield system. Your life and my hull may depend upon it.
Shields have their own power system. They can be boosted with capacity power. If shields are boosted, they take half damage and regenerate twice fast, but you're unable to shoot. Okay. So you push space to shields, boost shields. Okay. Shields boosted.
All modern space-capable engines come equipped with special regenerating boost capacitors. Please practice making rocket go fast now.
Okay. So you just push left shift for boost.
I have
Cool.
to say I'm impressed.
Oh yeah, it's a basic
We're all
stuff.
able to lace this thing back together without eating each other. The only thing that remains is to test the res drive. Mackenzie, start the pre-flight procedure.
From scotch and caviar to beers and tears, how is it that Jameson is the only other one with ambition to dig out of this dung heap? Just cook those bloody engines up and lay in a course for somewhere that isn't here. Please.
Alright. So I'll push tab for tactical. And we can go to the star map.
Welcome to the Super
Alright.
Ultra Star Map 9000. This holographic interface will allow you to scan all known galactic entities, plot mothership destinations, and communicate with other ships and starbases. Please practice untethered exploration now.
Okay, time moves only when you move. All transportation, bonding, harvesting, communication is done via the star map. Take your time, plan your actions. Explore a new territory. Push right mouse button to set a destination. Use mouse wheel to... Okay, cool. So we can zoom in and out.
Game saved.
And this is our ship here, and it wants us to go into here. But we've got all sorts of stuff here. There's bases. Okay. So Mr. Aspro apparently is our... Oh, it's a bandit hive over here. So it wants us to go... Read this.
Now that we are finally underway, let me remind you that you cannot simply urinate in the corner and proclaim you are the alpha meat husk. You are a minuscule fish in an otherwise colossal ocean of galactic proportions. Unless you wish to be dead before breakfast, read the advisory overlays I have painstakingly programmed for your survival. Do not just click past them and complain on the galactic forums that you did not get the memo. Ignorance will not be excused. Read or die.
Fair enough.
Please familiarize yourself with the star map command functions. If you do not assimilate this information now, it will be waiting for you at dinner time.
You can review tutorials at any time pushing the tutorial button. Consider selling or dumping ship parts you're not using. The way down, burn more res. Drop out of warp and edit your mothership. Right mouse button set there. Okay, cool. So we've got things down here. Faction info, inventory. Alright, so let's right click
All
over
right,
here.
we're mobile. If you are all thoroughly satisfied, we can finally get on with it. We still have stickies out there, not to mention a laundry list of equipment we need before we can do anything about them. Time is of the essence, and we've wasted so much of it already.
As anxious as I am to find a so-called sticky, we have not encountered one for many cycles. The ship does not yet have a nacelle to stand on. Therefore, we need to scout more easy opportunities to exploit.
Yep, works for me. So, we've got scrap here. It's hostile. We've got all sorts of different star bases and some lore. Oh, we can actually move with our key, so I can drive manually. Or I can mouse click. Where does it want us to go now? What's this going here? So I can right mouse click and move automatically, or I can just move around with my...
Signal detected.
Okay. It actually wants us to go over here, but...
If we tune our warp frequency just right, we can sometimes pick up residual data transmissions bouncing around the old warp network.
Cool.
Though the gates are smashed beyond repair, some seem to be able to hang on to those low-density data packets like a ghostly reminder of our past.
Okay, so by picking this stuff up, we'll get info. Scan view. Awesome.
The breach incident occurred when the first Titan Gate was successfully bypassed by an unregistered traveler, ending the lockdown wars. Though no infected vessels were ever able to escape through the breach, it was widely publicized as the cause of the infection itself. Unbeknownst to the general public at the time, The infection had ravaged the core worlds for centuries beforehand. The breach became a UTA scapegoat to cover up years of concealed conflict.
Awesome. So it looks like there's all little bits and pieces of... Oh, look at them all. There's lots here to unlock. So yeah, I guess this is something that we can cruise around on and pick up bits and pieces. So you've got your overview map. There's ways of reassembling your ship, so we can do what we did before. You can pull things apart.
While the tractor beam is an effective emergency repair tool, you seem more interested in using it to fling trash about the void for no apparent reason. As long as we are in an assembly-safe area, free of any ships and stellar objects, we can program the ship's computer to reconfigure itself. Just click, close your eyes, go to sleep, and all the hard work will appear to complete itself.
Okay, so yeah, you can move things around and change bits and pieces as needed, and each thing has parts, each thing has specs, each thing has add-ons, so this is pretty cool. Let's drop back to tactical. So I think you saw a little bit of combat at the beginning. I think we need to do a lot more in terms of flying around and taking things out. So we've got some pretty smaller threats here, level 2. We'll just sort of fly around. It just wants us to explore at the moment, but I don't know whether to go to one of these scrap yards and try and pick up parts or whether to do other stuff. But I'm going to play around with this for a bit. If you like the look of the game, go and check it out. There's definitely, there'll be links below. And as I said, it's come out of early access now. It'll be a full release game and should be available on Steam from the 7th of November. So I think, as I said, if I've timed this right, that should come out before, or it should be released before this video. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you next time.